My husband humiliated my kids at their father's funeral. My children's father passed away just 3 weeks ago. He'd been sick for a long time, fighting cancer, and even though we all knew it was coming, nothing could have prepared my kids for the reality of losing him. My son is 12, my daughter is 9. They adored their dad, and no matter how much I tried to prepare them, you can't really get a child ready for that kind of goodbye. The funeral was the hardest day of their lives. I wanted them to be there, to stand by their grandparents, to see their father laid to rest, and to have their own final moment with him. But my current husband didn't agree. He kept saying they were too young, that they shouldn't see something so heavy. I told him this wasn't his decision. They had every right to be there. Eventually he backed down, but only after I checked with my former in-laws, and they said it was fine for him to come along. On the drive there, he started giving the kids instructions, telling them how to behave, reminding them to stand up straight, not to cry too loudly. I bit my tongue, trying to ignore it because I had enough on my plate already. But I could see the kids shrinking in the back seat, already nervous about what was waiting for them. When we arrived, I brought them straight over to their grandparents, who wrapped them up in their arms. My husband stayed close, but instead of just quietly supporting, he went around introducing himself to strangers like it was some kind of social event. I stood back, watching, trying to hold myself together. Then I heard it. My son's quiet sobs, my daughter's small, broken voice, and over that, my husband's sharp whisper cutting through the silence. Quiet down. Stop crying. I froze. I hoped I misheard, but then, louder, so everyone nearby could hear. Really, stop it. There's no need for this. It's not like he can hear you. My kids broke. They started sobbing harder, their little shoulders shaking, while their grandparents pulled them closer, glaring in disbelief. I felt my stomach drop. I looked around. People had stopped and were staring. My in-laws' eyes burned into me, as if I had brought this monster into their sacred moment. I walked straight to him, my voice shaking, and hissed that I needed a word. Away from everyone, I turned on him. What the hell are you doing? He looked surprised, almost defensive, and said, I'm just trying to help them control themselves. I'm comforting them. Comforting? I snapped. You told them their father can't hear them. You told them to stop crying at their own dad's funeral. My voice broke. Do you even realize how cruel that was? He tried to argue, said he was helping. The kids need to get a hold of their emotions, that they shouldn't be making a scene. But all I could see in my head was my children, clinging to their grandparents, crying harder after his words. I told him to leave, right then and there. He tried to resist, whisper yelling that I was overreacting, that I was embarrassing him, but I stood firm. Get out, now! He stormed off eventually, and I stayed behind with the kids. But the damage was done. They wouldn't come home with me that night. They wanted to stay with their aunt, and I couldn't blame them. When I finally got back home later, he was already there, sitting in the dark with that furious look on his face. He exploded, accusing me of humiliating him, of choosing my ex's family over him, of turning the kids against him. He said they were just using him as a punching bag for their grief, that he'd been so generous with his time, and this was how we repaid him. But all I could hear over and over was the sound of my children sobbing as his voice cut through the chapel. Stop crying. He can't hear you. And that's the moment I knew.